Hello there. We're doing the stream thing. Today we're gonna do, we're back on track. We're gonna just do same thing we did last time, basically, where we're just gonna revisit the waypoints and graphs tutorial we watched before and just play with it a little bit, set up some of those waypoints. So last time we set it up so that we have the waypoints as just like physical objects. Like I have them as these red pillars. And then you could see my Roombas follow along those waypoints at varying speeds and all that. But the goal for today, what she did in the tutorial, was she set up a bunch of those waypoints all over her map. And then instead of saying, like, go to this waypoint, this waypoint, this waypoint, she would just say, go to this area. And then the NPC would automatically calculate the shortest path to that area, given all the waypoints it can navigate through. And all the edges it's allowed to navigate on. So, ideally, we would set up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, like one at each door, and then I guess like a couple at the entrance of the wing, and then one like within the store, like 1, 2, 3, probably one in each corner roughly. And then we could tell it, like just go to the back left store, and it'll go this node, and this node, and it'll just be a nice little elegant system. So I don't know how long that'll take. I feel like that could be relatively quick. And on top of that, I have her finished project right here. So you could kind of see what the goal is. Like she's got, you see the edges are the red lines, and then the waypoints are just like the vertices, I guess. And I could tell it, like, hey, go to the ruins, which is this area up here. And it just navigates that point, that point, that point, that point. So ideally, for my system, I would want this to be random. I would want it to just randomly choose a destination and then get there and then probably get another random destination or do some sort of random action, given that it's just people roaming around a mall. But for now, we'll probably just directly emulate this, and then I'll play with it on my own time to try to add that kind of customization to it. You can also see, like, this one doesn't have blue on it, so each one of these has blue except this one. That's just saying that it's not navigatable, like, in reverse, basically. It's only a one-way thing. Same over here. Like, you can go this way, but now that I'm behind the heli, if I tell it, like, go to the helipad, which is this node up here, instead of just going bam bam, it knows it can't go in reverse, so it'll go all the way around to get there. So I don't know where that would be useful in the mall exactly, but it's just good to know we have that kind of freedom, Yeah, so I'll just get that video up. So we're probably just going to be skimming through the video and just trying to implement it as we go. Shh. God, that thing is so loud. So the graphs one, she has one called Graph Theory, which we did watch, but it's not going to be helpful here because she didn't do any actual Unity work on it. So, whatever. Yeah, I guess I'll get back to our Unity. The only reason I downloaded her Unity project is because she uses a script that uses the A-star algorithm, and she doesn't explain how to write that out yet. So I think we're going to have to just copy that script.
Isn't there, is it different from the part 2? The final version that you have?
No, she just has two versions. She has the one she starts with and then the one she ends with, and like that whole lesson.
Oh.
So ideally what I have is what she has at the end of part 2. It does look like she changed it a little bit, because like I don't remember these waypoints being one way. I remember these ones being I remember she went back here to show the one-way path, but whatever. I don't think it really matters. But yeah, I guess we'll just skim through the video, see what we can do, see what we need to do.
Now we've got a map, and we've also got a little tank. The tank.
Oh, do you want me to stream it so you could hear her too?
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
be our NPC character. What we're going to do is place some
Here.
waypoints
Yeah.
around the map, and then we're going to link them up with edges and put some buttons on the screen to give the tank orders of where to go to. The first thing we'll do is place some waypoints. The important thing to remember here is that there's no physics or collision detection that will be in this project, which means you have to place waypoints where the tank can move. So it'll be the paths. In the project, I've created a waypoint game object asset here. So this prefab, if I drag and drop it into the scene, you'll see that it automatically gives itself a number. And each time you add a waypoint, it will count up for you. So this is so you can keep track of which waypoint is which one without having to click on it in the hierarchy each time. So let's
Does she explain how she set that up?
just
I
zoom
don't
out.
remember.
I'm going to place some waypoints around this map
I don't remember.
to get to the helipad, which is down here.
Because I could just grab that asset and throw it in. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just throw it in my project file, and then we could just kind of take it apart from there. Oh, it's whatever. The fuck? Oh, there's a script called WP name. Where's that? The fuck? Oh, it's like a child of it. So I need this waypoint debug script. Oh, okay, okay. So I need to also grab this script. Okay, so that seems to be working. So yeah, what you need to do is you have just a sphere, and then as a child of that sphere is an empty that's like above it that has a text renderer or a mesh renderer, and then the text mesh, and then a script called waypoint debug that I could just send you that script.
Oh, I'm putting it in mine.
Okay, cool. See, I guess I'll go through that waypoint debug script. We'll try to get that a little bit. So first it has the rename waypoints. That makes a table called GOS, G-O-S for some reason, or an array of game objects. And then it finds every game object with the tag WP, which is I didn't know that was a command. That seems helpful. That's very helpful, actually. That's exactly how I would do the garbage collection thing, I think. Not actual garbage collection, like in programming, like literal garbage, whatever. I would just make it, like, every garbage item would be tagged as garbage, and then I would just say, like, in the Roomba, like, game object at find object with tag garbage, and then just make a table of all of those. That's the answer right there. So yeah, for each object in the array of objects if it doesn't equal overlook, which I don't know what that means. I guess overlook is... Yeah, I don't know what overlook means. It's just a game object that's getting called. I guess let's see when this gets called.
I can't find this script you're talking about.
It's called Waypoint debug.cs. It's in her final.
Okay. So on destroy, that's when it gets called, and it uses this game object.
It also gets called in start, and there it's null.
Yeah.
So it has an object, and then it's just empty. So as long as it's not empty, then name it, I guess is what it's checking, right? And then when you destroy it, it calls it again to I don't know, reset the counter, I guess. I guess that's just to update the counter that one of them has been lost.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it gets caught on that if statement. Because then go would equal overlook in that case, right? Or wait. Go is the current object. So go would be one of them. So I guess for one of them it wouldn't fire. So I guess it just calls it and then remakes that list updated with one of them being gone now. And then on update, it's just drawing the text component, I guess.
Yeah, or setting the text to the name of the object.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like if you delete. Actually, I don't know what happens if you delete, but
I guess I'll just try it. I'll make a couple and then delete like a middle one.
it seems like it's just it
1, 2,
makes
3, 4, 5. So I'll delete the
makes a
third
new
one.
name.
Yeah, it updates the list. So one. So you see, it was before I deleted it.
Can't see.
Oh, and then when I undid it, didn't fix it. So can you see on my screen right now?
No, but I'm bringing up Twitch just so we don't switch.
Oh,
over.
I forgot. Yeah, good
It's
call.
So yeah, I can see.
So it just goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if I delete 2, then it goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Just updates the list.
Cool.
I'm gonna see if that error is still there. That might be an old error. Yeah, I think it's an old one. Very nice. Okay. So now we have these waypoints. I guess we could continue going through the video.
And one to get over here and to go around this building. They're avoid.
Oh, she already did. Okay.
So this is our waypoint manager.
I think I went
7
back
at the
forward too
back.
far.
Lines that connect the nodes and will tell us where the tank can travel between. As I said at the beginning, these waypoints are also going to specify where the tank can't travel, and that is that we don't want to put any pack going that you've got to ref in the hierarchy, right click and create an empty, and we're going to call this object a WP manager.
Okay. I need to clear up my hierarchy a little bit. This is getting fucked up. Don't I have a collection already made for physics objects? Where is that? Yeah, I just need to dump all these into one like collection so I could actually see what everything is. There it is.
So have you ever seen this graph? Oh, okay, never mind. She defines it.
Yeah, this can all go under infrastructure, I think. It'll... Okay, that's good enough. Sorry.
No, good.
All right.
I'm just reading.
Call it WP Manager, she said.
So this is our waypoint manager. On that, we'll put some code. So let's go over to the project and create a new C# script, and we'll also call that WP manager. It does means that it...
Okay, so do you want to just look at the finished WP Manager thing from her script and just go through it on our own? Or should we watch
yeah,
it?
I'm just reading through her stuff.
Okay.
I think it'd probably be helpful just to hear it, because it's like 5 different scripts. So
Okay.
above the WP Manager class, we're going to add in a little struct, and that's just there to help facilitate the data entry and storage of our graph.
So that we could probably just copy and paste that, I'm assuming. That's all she does.
The graph is going to go all into another system, but we still need to be able to put the graph into the WP Manager in some way. And the simplest way at the moment is just to make the inspector look good to facilitate this, essentially. So this is a link, and a link is going to be basically the edge. So it defines the nodes on either end of an edge, the direction of it, whether it's a unidirectional, which means that it goes in one way, or whether it's bi, which means that it travels in two directions. And that's stored down here in the direction thing. So there's only 3 things in here, essentially. Next, we're going to define the waypoints, the links, and also make a graph from them. So at the top here, add this. So we have a game object array holding our waypoints. This will be all of those spheres that we've placed down on our map. Then we have an array of links, which we will also define, and this allows us to say this one connects to that one and this one connects to that one, and whether you can travel in both directions or not. And if there's no link for waypoints, then they obviously aren't connected. Then with all that, we will create a new graph of type graph. Now the graph code and the A* algorithm has all been written for you, and I've provided that inside this graph folder.
Okay, we're gonna have to get that too.
Assets. If you next to that one.
Yeah, it wouldn't even let me make the graph type because that doesn't exist yet.
I think it does.
Well, it auto-corrected it to graphic.
Oh. That's weird.
So I guess I'm not letting me is not the right way to say it. It fought me on it, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'll just copy that whole graphs folder in there.
Oh, yeah.
So that has edge, graph, and node. Do we want to try this, or is this the A* shit? I guess that isn't. We'll just look at
This
them.
is setting it up so that the A* can work, it seems like. Like, A* requires nodes and edges. And a list, a path list.
So yeah, node just stores the position, edge stores the difference between 2 nodes, and then graph compiles the edges and the nodes into one thing, I guess. Graph looks complicated. That
Yeah,
one's
graph
long.
is the main one. Graph has A* in it.
So yeah, maybe we sit on that, because that she's gonna go. There's a whole lesson on A*, so that seems like something she'll go over.
Yeah.
Okay, so now my graph type works.
And then this one connects to that one, and whether you can travel in both directions or not. And if there's no link for waypoints, then they obviously aren't connected. Then with all that, we will create a new graph of type graph. Now the graph code and the A* algorithm has all been written for them. Back in the WP Manager code, we'll work in the start function to set everything up. So in here, just add this code. We're going to loop through the waypoints array, which is at the top, and this is the one we feed our waypoints to manually. If there are waypoints in that array, we're going to loop through each one and feed it into our graph that we've created up here. And so the graph code has an add node method, and you can feed the game objects through into there. So each node has to exist, each game object needs to be added into that graph before you can do anything with your links. After that, we're going to then do the same thing with the links.
Okay, hold on. I need to take a break. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay.
Okay, it was quick. So yeah, I guess we should just copy all of this because she's kind of talking through it quickly. So okay. It's 4 each. That's like a built-in thing. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. It's an array thing.
Wait, what? Oh, because I didn't do a capital L. Link dot direction dot by. Oh, oops. Yeah, okay. So if the link's direction equals bidirectional, then add another edge going the other way. Yeah, okay. I remember her explaining this. So goes through every waypoint, adds it to the graph, goes through every link, adds it to the graph, checks whether it's bidirectional or not, and acts accordingly, I suppose. Alright, let me know when you've got that all typed in. I'll play through the rest. BRB. I gotta go let Lance in.
Okay.
It's not locked. The handle's just fucked up. Okay, so like, what hook does it go on? So we don't. Okay, I'm like breaking the door every time.
I was afraid I was going to break the door regardless.
It's getting worse. It's gonna get to the point where someone's locked out, and we're gonna have to actually just break it.
Alright, I'll let you do something.
Alright, I mean, we're probably gonna do like 30 minutes more. So.
Tell Gomer I said it was Gucci.
Okay, Lance is here and he says hello.
Hello, Lance. I know. He can't hear me.
It's in spirit. So should we continue through now?
Yeah.
And loop through those definition update, then we can see the edge.
Oh, and then she just does a draw array or whatever.
Or method.
Debug draw.
Yeah.
So that's a method in graph, right? That's like a pre-existing thing. That's not like a built-in method. That's a thing she made.
That's the thing she made, and then the debug draw then calls edges, which is the edge type.
Okay.
That other script. She calls start node and end node.
I feel like I want to be very sure when I'm doing this. I know the difference between the built-ins and like the methods she made, because I would hate if I like get it in my head that I can just do this, you know, and didn't realize that she made the method. But I guess it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. I could just copy the script.
like that. And if we put that in
I mean, they
fill
all
out
are
as the
just
links.
scripts
I've
anyway.
got 13
Yeah.
links, and that's the number of individual paths
It's cool you
between
can, like-
each of your nodes. So I'll put
What?
13 in
Sorry.
I figured out you
which
can-
will
if you,
expose
like,
all of the
control-
elements. So I'm now
Control
going to
click
create
on any
these
of the
links
built-in words, you can see what the script looks like for that built-in. Like if you control click on the word game object, you can see what a game object is defined as.
Base class for all entities in Unity series. Link is a pre-made
Oh.
thing.
If you control click on it though,
Oh, actually. Oh, God. Okay.
yeah,
Then it brings you to like the big boy.
that's the script they wrote in the same way that she wrote WP Manager or how she wrote Graph. Like,
How big of a chunk do you think I could take out of this without affecting anything?
you could probably take it, maybe not a chunk, but you could definitely take out some lines like here and there.
Okay. So I think now we
One
need to
by
go
one.
through and
So
actually
do
lay
want
out the
tank to be up
waypoints and then do the
date.
links. So I just need to see how... Oh, so she just creates a link and then she says
These.
it's waypoint 1 and it's waypoint 2 and then you say if it's directional. So yeah, this is going to be us just laying this out
Yeah,
manually.
That's fine though.
So
Actually, this could tie into where I'm at. I think I might. I'll try and incorporate this into the
the object
cat-like
management.
thing. Yeah, because it's kind of similar.
So I'm gonna put. I guess I'm just gonna do one wing just for now, because otherwise this is like a huge waste of time. Oh wait, it's. Oh no, I'm doing this wrong. Wait, hold on. I was just duplicating. You can't do that. You have to drag in a new one. Because then the name gets all fucked up. I guess that's actually probably easier now that I'm thinking about it. Because then I could just drag exactly where it needs to be with my mouse. Actually, I shouldn't have any waypoints over here because you'll fall into the fucking gap that I still haven't filled in somehow. What are you gonna do for yours? Just do like a basic little like circuit or something?
Yeah, I guess.
Probably load some obstacles are in there or something, right? God, I just keep finding these little holes. I suck at this. I'm realizing now I probably, yeah, I need to have them like that.
Oh. Huh. I guess I lost my scene.
The one you were doing the cat-like coding in?
No, the one I had before with the tank going between the different spots.
Huh.
When I imported, this stuff got overwritten. Because her name, she didn't save her scene name as anything, and neither did I. So the sample scene overwrote it. Because hers is called sample scene. And so was mine.
Damn.
And tank FBX actually got overwritten too. It's my
Jesus.
fault. I chose. They asked me, "Do you want to overwrite?" And I just said, "Sure." But so what are you dropping in
like the waypoint game object from my editor or my assets,
Okay.
and then I just dragged that onto waypoints. But when does it actually draw the thing? I thought that showed up in editor mode. So I just made a link between these two, and I don't see the actual link.
You have to do it on play.
I guess I'll hit play mode. I'll see what happens. Oh, okay, it is doing it. Never mind.
I thought it was on start.
I thought it showed up in editor mode for some reason. Okay. I wish it would, actually. I feel like that would be a little bit nicer. But I suppose it's fine.
You could probably set it up to do that.
And I would also recommend locking this on the inspector for WP Manager. That makes this a lot easier. So everything's going to be bi-directional for me. I don't have any reason to make it only one way. I don't know how far I'm gonna go with this. I guess it's fine. I feel like this is gonna get very tedious very quickly.
Yeah.
12, then between 12 and 13, then between 13 and 14. I guess I could actually... Yeah, I'll do it that way. Okay. If it's bi-directional, it doesn't matter. I'm so glad she just casually dropped that locking the window thing. I would have been hating life right now. This would be the worst.
Oh yeah. I never think to do that. Like I've seen that lock there forever.
Yeah, I never even considered what it did. I don't remember how she goes about actually naming the areas too. Like, how do we tell it what like the destination is? I guess we'll get to that. What? Oh no, that's 16. What the fuck? I thought I had two 15s for a second. See, what I'm noticing is when you make a new one, it makes it a duplicate of the above one. I don't really know why that's necessary, but I guess it's kind of nice.
Wait, what is it doing?
It's making it like a copy of the above one.
Oh, I see. In that editor. How did she make that editor? I'm gonna read that.
How does she make what?
That editor. That like drop down.
Oh.
That's just an array?
It's the struct, right? It's the struct she made.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an enum. Enum.
Oh, yeah.
Enum. Yeah, it's
But
very
then it's
convenient.
yeah, it's the whole thing of like the thing I was confused about was the like adding a new element.
Oh
But
yeah.
you do that with she makes an array of that struct. So if you make a struct and then put it in an array, you can just have like a drop down thing that you can continuously add new points to. That's cool. Like you could do that with anything.
From 4 to 5. Then from 5 to 22. God, I placed these so fucking arbitrarily. The numbering system does not help. Whatever. 22 to 19. Realistically, I'm just now realizing I didn't do this, and I'm not going to go back and do it right now, but I should also have a link from this root one to each individual one. There's no reason why you should have to go, like, because right now if I wanted to go to this, or I guess if I wanted to go to this corner one, it would go like bam, 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 rather than just going straight there. But whatever, I'll figure that out. I'll do that later. It's not worth it. So I have from 22 to 19. Now I need 19 to 21.
I don't know why she used the word overlook.
Yeah, that was not helpful at all.
That's such a weird. This is such a weird. I guess go is game object.
Yeah, and what did she call the other
Goes.
one? Goes?
Goes are the multiple game objects.
I don't like that. I would not have named it that, but whatever. She's the professional.
Geos equals game object. Find game objects with tag WP. For each game object in game objects, check if it is not overlook. If it's not over, I don't. This is hard to follow, honestly.
Yeah, I went through it a little bit, and I feel like I kind of got it. So maybe after I'm done doing this edges, we'll go through that one more time and see if we can get a better grab of it. Better grasp of it, rather.
I guess the idea of the for each is the thing of like it's not just renaming one. That's what I was having a problem with. It's not just naming one, it's renaming all of them. That's like what it does. Where like you delete one and they all change.
Yeah. So it renames the whole list. If you call that, it recreates the entire list again. I think is the idea. 10 to 7.
Oh, and then part of this is
7 to what is that? 8.
part of this has to do with this string.format method, which I've never used before. Because it looks like she would use a for loop here, but she's using format, which like kind of acts like it.
Oh, I don't recall that at all. I'm lost on that one.
When she gives it the name, when she says WP plus string.format and then like 000I.
Oh shit, I fucked up. Overall though, it's okay. There's one fuck up. Oh, 2 fuck ups. Not too bad. So this one, there's a link between these two for no reason. Between 25 and 4. There should not be a link between 25 and 4. God knows where that is. There it is. Okay. So I'm just going to replace that with a link between 6 and 1, I suppose. 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh yeah, these need a connection as well. Between 3 and 4. Okay. See, I guess I should probably create more links between the individual nodes inside of here, but I think that's something I'll leave for later. As of right now, I think this is okay. Just gets the bare minimum done.
Yeah.
It's navigatable rooms. Okay.
That works.
Okay, so what was the string thing you were saying? Was that in WP Manager?
Yeah. I was just reading about that. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
But I'm reading the different string. It's just a default thing in string. I don't totally get some of the arguments, but...
It's for each? That's confusing?
No, string.format. Like what that's doing.
Oh, that's not in WP Manager. Is it?
Oh, no, it's in Waypoint debug.
Oh, okay.
I guess I just need to learn. I need to go over strings. Like when you write stuff such that like it doesn't actually come up in the string like this. You know, where like sometimes you'll see like the double greater than or double less than as like a bit shifting thing. There's just like syntax I don't know.
Oh, there's one of the chats you were talking about. Why we had follower only mode on.
Hey.
Want to become famous? Buy followers,
Yeah.
bribes, add followers.
That's the same one too. That's the same line, I'm pretty sure.
How do I report? Get out.
Don't worry about it.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
We want to rack up.
Bam.
We want to rack up people in the chat.
I just banned them.
We want to get a bunch of people talking at once.
So I probably shouldn't have done that.
We could get 150 bots at one time.
I'm sorry, bot. Please come back.
And we won't need to pay.
What have I done? Okay. You want to continue with our video?
Yeah.
And it's probably easiest if you did have all this written down on a piece of paper like I've got, and then you can cross off each path. And this code is based on the move local code that...
Oh, okay. So this is just this is the same thing we already had, follow path.
Yeah.
I think we can just copy that script. That's going to be like the same thing. That's going to be the same thing as what, Drive or whatever? What was it called? No, not Drive. Which
Follow
one?
WP.
Follow WP.
This one has like go to heli, these are like her custom destinations.
So should we just make these changes on follow WP, or should we just import it as a new script?
I have it in already, but...
Okay, I'll just do it as a new script.
point. Now, this is the index, the current node, which is this game object up here, which does point to is 0, which is essentially saying there is no path length, or the current waypoint index is equal to the path length. If you've got a path with 3 nodes in it and you're up to the 3rd node, and your path length would then be 3 as well because it's got 3 things in it. If these two are the same, it means you're at the end. current count along at position current waypoint. Who's going to be waypoint 1 in the array, because remember arrays start counting at 0. And the ruin is waypoint 7 for me, which would be 6 in the array there. So it takes...
Okay, that's how she did it. So yeah, then I'll just slap, remove drive from Jerry over here, and I'll put follow path on him instead. And then the WP manager is just wherever that is, WP manager. And then I need to set go to heli, go to ruin. I'll just set, I guess I'll just leave those as is now, or would it be a pain to change the name?
They already have like indexes in them, so it'll just go to your 4th one and your 11th one. I'm
just gonna change them. I'm gonna change what node it actually is going to. So I'll change that to 13. Well, I want to change it from go to heli to go to something else. I'm just gonna call it like go to room 1, I suppose. And then room 2 will be 17. Room 3, 21. I gotta create another one. Public void, go to room 4. Because she just calls those methods in the UI thing, right? So it doesn't really matter what they're called.
Yeah, I think UI has its own event system.
Okay, so now I have that set up. So I think she goes into that in the next video,
It's
right?
the current node that you're at.
Because right now it won't actually do anything.
Okay, so that's all of the code
Yeah.
to follow path. Save that.
Ah, God.
To find us a path between one and another of our way. Now our job is to add a little bit. We'll find the button, there it is, obviously, which will be childed to the canvas.
Okay, do we want to do the whole UI element, or should we just like find another way to do this, or should we just do the UI the same way she has it?
I mean, if it's just setting up a button, buttons are pretty quick.
Okay. Because I don't know if we could like set it up as a like a button, like a physical button in the world or something like that, or like a...
Yeah, I guess you could do a trigger volume if you wanted.
That might be a little easier. I don't know. What it would be kind of the same thing. I don't think it really matters. I think for now, just to speed it up a little bit, I'm gonna just do it as a button, as like an in-world button.
Oh, okay. Because you can just do UI and then button. And then I guess you put it in front of the camera. Actually, I can't even walk you through this, so.
Well, I mean, if you want to do that, and then I'll do this, and then we'll just see, you know, see if, I guess, because we're probably going to need to do the UI shit eventually. I'm just kind of trying to speed this up a little bit. So I would like to wrap this up today. So we could do A-Star tomorrow. So yeah, now it's going to access... Oh, I should probably... Yeah, whatever. Okay. Lock that. Grab this fucker. Get over here, Jerry. Follow path, go to room 2. Follow path, go to room 3, and finally... Follow path, go to room 4. I guess I would like to put a little... Is it easy to add text above something? Was that a pain?
You add a text mesh.
Oh, it says it conflicts with my mesh renderer.
Uh,
Maybe I'll just
what are you
insert
using?
text just above it. Can I do that?
If you, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. That was, I think text mesh is its own mesh renderer.
Oh, okay. I'll just have it as a separate object. There's no reason for it to be parented to it right now. I'm just gonna have it floating above, just saying like, this fucking box tells him to go to room 1.
How does she do it?
It's just the UI button, right? Or do you mean on the waypoints?
The waypoint. Waypoint doesn't have. Oh, it does. Waypoint has a child text mesh. Same way. Oh, and the text mesh has the debug script on it.
Huh. Yeah, this is all I want right now. Just bare minimum. This will be fine.
And you just run into those.
Yeah.
Nice.
This should do it. If I understand this properly. Okay. This guy, I'm gonna turn off the fucking tank guy. He's gonna be too annoying right now. You need to chill. All right, Jerry. I believe in you. I need you to go to room number 3. Yes. Go. Go, Jerry. Pick room number 3, my lord. Oh. Oh, that's not... Wait.
I was gonna say
Where you
the
going,
array.
Jerry? Oh, no.
The array numbers might be a little different.
I updated them.
Oh. Well,
Where'd
he
he
doesn't have
go?
any waypoints at the corners.
Where'd he go? He just disappeared. Wait, I'm in the wrong run. Oh, I guess he got there. He stopped moving. Okay, so I gave... This should be waypoint 16, right? And I told it that room 3 is... Oh, yeah. Room 3... Oh, wait, no, hold on.
Is the first waypoint 0?
No.
It's waypoint 1. But you're taking that into account.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is room 1. Oh, that's room 2. I think I was just expecting the wrong room. So room 3 should be 21. And it is. I'm gonna move my player over so I don't have to run this whole way every time. I guess I'll try the other rooms. Try room 1. Also, wait, I need to turn up his speed, because that was kind of unbearable to watch. Let's bring that up to 10. All right, Jerry, go to room 1. Should be this room right here. Where are you going? God damn it. Where is he going? What is his deal?
Is he going to 20?
The fuck?
Whoa. Oh, look at the path though. The path is there. Look inside the room.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to go right here.
Oh, I'm delayed a little bit.
Oh, wait. Well, I
You
guess
could probably switch over now.
where does he start? I should have thought of that actually. Like what the first node he hits is. I think he's starting like out here somewhere. And then now he's not getting close enough to this for it to be considered like successful. So I guess accuracy, I could bring that down, right? That'll make it, will that make it more accurate or less accurate if I make it smaller? How is that used?
It's final distance from the target, right?
So it should be bigger. Making it bigger will be better. So I'll make it 5. That might be too big. 3. But I think that also is the problem, that it's considering like 18 over here, I think. It's like first node for some reason, I think. I assumed it would... I think this... Well, this is actually tying into that problem I had when we first watched the video. Where it's like... It doesn't have proximity, I guess. I guess what is it calculating the path relative to, you know? Like it should calculate the path from here, from this node to it. But how does... It doesn't have any means of knowing that. So like, I don't know where it's actually starting from. Go to room 2. See, and then he's going to go right here, and then he's going to go to room 2, I think. For some reason, this node is his first node that he wants to hit. At least he's following the path from then on, though.
At start, you set current node. Did you do that?
What do you set it equal to?
They put it as 7 for some reason. I feel like that wouldn't.
That's
be
probably
static,
the problem.
But yeah.
Okay, I'll check that. Because otherwise, he's doing it. Okay, let's look into that. The start of follow path. Yeah, he says
yeah.
Current node is WP. Well, what is WPS? That's just all of the waypoints.
Yeah.
So that
But it's
probably
specifically
starting
the
from
one
0, right?
That's from Waypoint Manager.
So I'm just going to change that to 1, I guess. Because then if it's starting from 0, then it'll actually be 2, and it'll be this one. But then if it's actually starting from 1, then it'll be this one. So either way, it should be fine. Go to room 3, Jerry. Okay, yeah, so he hits 1. Oh, nope. What was that? Okay. He hit was it this one or this one? Yeah, he hits this one first. Oh. Actually, no, that's what he's supposed to do, because told him to go to fucking room 2. God damn it. Alright, go to room 4, Jerry. Okay, so this node, for whatever reason, is being considered node 1 now. It's good to know, because that start one did actually do something then. Maybe it's the order they're in the Waypoint Manager. Yeah, okay. So I said 1 should be 24. Yep. Okay then, so I need to figure out which number 1 is. 1 is 23.
Oh, I see the problem.
So now this should be perfect. I guess waypoint 2 is kind of unnecessary now, but whatever.
So the names are like slightly helpful, but they're not indicative of
It
like
might be partially
their
on me
placement.
too. That might be my fault for, like, I kind of put it in it arbitrarily. Maybe you're meant to try to keep it consistent in Waypoint Manager and in your over whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I might have fucked this up. Okay. Oh god. Why is that the path he's taking? Whatever. He is a little big, and I guess I made the accuracy pretty low. Okay, let's bring that accuracy. Like, just because he was doing that shit where he's spinning around the target.
He doesn't have that like follow thing though, right? He doesn't have that like object in front of him.
No. Go to room 3. See, yeah, that's... I guess I know how to fix that, actually. That's probably pretty easy. I could just move this. Make this like a wider thing. This is really nice that you can just do this and none of the links are like fucked up by that. Go to room 1. So yeah, so that's just a problem of where I laid the actual links. Wait, what? Where are you going? The fuck? Where are you going? You were in room 1. You already did it. Oh, wait. I wonder if one of these Roombas triggered it and hit another button. I think one of the Roombas might have, like, launched a prop or something. I don't know what that was. Let's try it. Just go to room 1. Can you do that? It's really funny how much he clips. Uh-oh. I think Unity just crashed.
Oh, he walked into the button.
Oh, shit. It should have been limited to only players triggering that. Yeah, get out of play mode. Fuck.
Damn,
Oh,
I like
man.
can't even imagine what it's doing. Like,
I think I just lost all that progress. I don't think it saved all those nodes at the waypoints I placed and all the links.
oh right. Well, who's to say how you'll want?
Come on, man. Just leave play mode. That's why he went from room 1 to room 2 then. He must have just triggered that. And the first time he only hit one of them. And it was fine. But I guess this time he hit like multiple of them or something. So yeah, I guess the way to fix this is smaller target, better path laying, stuff like that, you know. Because he's still clipping a lot, but overall, I think it's fine. I guess that's the end of it then, right?
Yeah, that's a good ending.
God, come on, man. Ugh. Do you have anything to play us out?
Yeah. This is just a genuine song that I've been listening to a lot. No, it's an ad. God damn it. There we go.
Hey, the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4 4's the point, want
what do you
4.
want to do
Ace
tomorrow?
2 scraps, want 4. Ace 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 2 scrap, want 4. Scrap, want 4. Who wants the hard 4? 5 wants 4.
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 4, and he made it the hard way. Hey, the front line, take the hard. You have a shooter and a good one. Coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? 6 to point.
Check me out, y'all.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets. Place your bets. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.